chair for the military science department there at Creighton. What I'd like to do tonight is talk to you a little bit about what our mission, what we do for the community, how Army ROTC prepares students to enter the military and the workforce. I'd also like to share with you some of the successes our cadets have had, and then finish where I'd like to see the program go and develop and grow in the next 3 or 4 years. But first I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Organizations often take on the personalities of the commander or the chief executive. To fully understand the organization and where it's headed, you should know a little bit about who's in charge and what are the forces that shape them. These are the 5 things that I think most shaped me and that I want to share with you. First, I'm from the Midwest. I grew up about 7 hours from here in Sparta, Wisconsin. And while integrity, self-reliance, and hard work are core American values, the Midwest places a special emphasis on those, and I'm kind of glad to be back after a few years living in the Midwest. I come from a family that values military service. My father, my cousins, my uncles, my grandfather, all of them served, most of them during wartime, and until very recently, none of them made the military career. They, like me, believe that military service is a way of paying back and supporting the community that you were a part of. I've been part of the Army now for 15 years. I was commissioned through Army ROTC at the University of Wisconsin at La Crosse. I completed 3 tours in Iraq. I was preparing for deployment in Afghanistan when I came down on orders for this assignment. So what I bring to the unit is I bring current operational experience. Education and development are important to me. It's how we reach our full potential. It's how we reach our full potential, and we develop full potential in others. And this assignment has a special meaning to me. Finally, most importantly, I'm backed by a wonderful Army family. You see right behind me. I've been married to Jody for almost 16 years, and we have 3 great children: Trajan 14, Ian 10, and our daughter Shayla 3. This is our mission statement and our purpose within the community. We exist to provide the Army with quality officers who are ready to meet the demands of the 21st century. We do that by recruiting quality applicants who are scholars, athletes, and leaders, and provide them the best education and leadership training that they can get. We also support the Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps here in Omaha. Specifically, each year we help set up and run the orienteering event, and the cadre and cadets of our battalion enjoy mentoring and developing Omaha's youth into better citizens and leaders. On the next few slides, I'll kind of discuss how we do that. On this slide is the cadre and the DA civilian support that makes up and runs the military science department at Creighton. I have a total of 11 faculty, 8 which are full-time, which are represented by the gray and the yellow bars, or boxes, and 3 which are part-time facility, or faculty, which are represented by the green box. At the top of the slide is a professor of military science who is responsible for the overall program and specifically the development and the mentoring of the seniors and teaching military history. Assisting me from left to right on the slide is the assistant professor of military science, the APMS, who acts as the executive officer and instructs and mentors the sophomore class. Next over is the XO or S3, what we call the operations officer, who manages the day-to-day running of the battalion and all the administrative and logistical requirements. Assisting the XO are the 2 of our DA civilians, one of them which is the human resource tech, and the other one which is our supply manager. Our SMI, or the senior military instructor, is a senior non-commissioned officer, is the primary instructor for the junior class. Our SMI is also responsible for the quality control of training and delivered to the battalion. Assisting him is the operations NCO, who is also the primary instructor and mentor for the freshman class. Last is a recruiting operations officer, whose primary responsibility is recruiting those scholar athlete leaders I talked about earlier, who will become Army officers and leaders in this community. Our program, of course, is hosted at Creighton University, and the cadets receive the majority of their instruction at Creighton. Creighton's a great school. Omaha's a very supportive community. And normally I don't show this slide to people here from Omaha. This is the one I showed to my boss, but I included it here tonight because I want you to see what, one, I show other folks about Creighton and about Omaha, but also it's kind of a plug for education local. There's a lot of great things that are listed up on here, and I'm proud to be a part of a community that offers this. In the bottom right-hand corner are our partner schools and programs. Students at these universities participate in Creighton Army ROTC as well. About 80% of our students are from Creighton. The remainder come from one of these partnered schools. UNO being the largest of them, and currently in our freshman class, almost half the freshman class is from UNO. This slide shows the overall progression of a cadet through ROTC. The green boxes on the left-hand side are the first 2 years, what we call the basic course. Their freshman year largely focuses on basic soldier skills and acclimation to Army living. The sophomore year adds some small unit operations and the foundations of leadership. During the summer between those two years, our cadets have the opportunity to attend either airborne or air assault training, or the new one, which is a Cultural Understanding and Language Program, or what we call CULP. Cadets compete nationally for a chance to spend 4 weeks in CULP abroad, fully immersed in the language and the culture of a U.S. ally, typically in Eastern Europe, South America, Asia, or Africa. This year we had 6 cadets compete, and all 6 were selected for the program. The last 2 years of the program prepare the cadets for becoming an officer through practical experience and knowledge while leading other cadets to accomplish training. The junior year improves their leadership and management skills. At the end of that year, our juniors attend what's called the Leadership Development Assessment course in Fort Knox, Kentucky. At that course, their leadership skills are evaluated. And that evaluation in turn is used to determine what component, active duty, National Guard, or reserves, which they assess onto, along with what branch assignment they go into, armor, aviation, artillery. The senior year consists of commissioning preparation, developing written and oral communication skills, and preparing for the administrative responsibilities of being an Army officer. Following graduation, new commissioned officers will head off to the Basic Officers Leaders Course B, where they will receive the instruction specific to whatever their branch of assignment is. Here behind me is what a typical week for a cadet looks like. The focus of training in military science is on proficiency of the basic soldier skills, formations, how to march, marksmanship, first aid, and on leadership. To that end, the cadets conduct a physical fitness training every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday while school is in session. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. During the school week, cadets will meet for lecture typically 1 to 2 times per week. During lecture, they'll learn a wide range of topics, from ethics to warrior ethos, group dynamics to counseling, how to write and brief in the Army style, how to conduct risk management and mitigation, right on down to how to manage their own personal finances and save for retirement. There's a separate program of instruction for each year of cadets. Each Tuesday afternoon, we meet for lab. That's the main venue for cadets to learn those basic soldier skills. It's also where they develop their leadership skills. They do all the planning, all the rehearsing, the executing the training, and the evaluation of the training at the end. The cadre assist, but the cadets really learn their leadership and management skills by doing those things. At the completion of training, the cadets conduct their own after-action reevaluation, where they take down notes and incorporate the lessons they learned from that training into future training. Each semester, the cadets will also spend a long weekend typically at Camp Dodge, where we conduct field training exercise. Camp Dodge provides us with training support that we can't get locally, like small arms ranges for marksmanship or the rappel tower. Again, the cadets plan the entire trip, from moving 54 cadets from here in Omaha all the way out to Camp Dodge, getting them debussed, put in place into barracks, feeding the whole works. All the cadre do is we assist. Oh, and one thing I wanted to point out on this is down here at the bottom, you see 3 pictures of cadets going through training. In all 3 of those pictures, the cadets are leading themselves through the training. The cadre are there to assist. And the one in the center, we're also working with Air Force ROTC. Physical training. Cadets are held to the same standard for Army physical fitness that their soldier counterparts are. They conduct PT here at Creighton Army ROTC Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Each session, again, is planned, led, and evaluated by the cadets. Our senior military instructor provides the oversight and the final approval of the PT plan. But again, the training is conducted by the cadets. Each month, the cadets take the Army Physical Fitness Test. That test consists of 2 minutes of push-ups, 2 minutes of sit-ups, and a 2-mile run. How well they do on the APFT affects their final grade that they receive for class. Of course, no discussion of Army ROTC would be complete without scholarships, and scholarships remain our #1 tool for recruiting and retention in the program. Currently, there's 4 ways that you can enter ROTC on scholarship. The first one's a national base, where high school students compete nationally for a 4-year or a 3-year scholarship. There's also campus-based scholarships, where students that are enrolled in a university can come to ROTC and receive a scholarship for money which is set aside by our brigade headquarters. There's a guaranteed reserve forces duty scholarship, which is done by the National Guard and the Reserve to encourage enrollment into those two great organizations. The last one is the Green and Gold program, which takes our active duty service members who are interested in becoming officers and gives them a scholarship and gives them opportunity to attend a university. You can also see on there that we have an annual book allowance, which is pretty significant. And then the cadets, while the school's in session, receive somewhere between $300 and $500 a month for stipend. So let me tell you a little bit about the cadets. These are our statistics here. Currently, our average GPA is 3.3. On the Army physical fitness test, the average score is 270. 180 is considered passing. 300 is considered max points. So you can see from that right there that we have some very physically fit and very academically astute students. Our retention rate, which I'm very proud of, is roughly about 75%. So 75% of the freshmen that enter our ROTC program finish as seniors and commission. Typically, the retention rate for most ROTC programs is somewhere about 50, with smaller universities like Creighton being somewhere closer to about 60%. That mostly has to do with the contact between the cadre and the students and the one-on-one instruction. And our senior class, I'm very proud of, 5 of the 14 are graduated as distinguished military graduates, meaning they're in the top 20% of the 5,500 or so cadets which will graduate this year. 2 of those that are that are going to graduate as distinguished military students are in the top 10% of the cadets across the nation. We also this year had 3 cadets that were selected for education delay. One which will go head off to medical school, another one which will head off to dental school, and the last one off to optometry. One of our cadets this year at the Leadership Development Assessment course graduated the top cadet in his regiment, and another one was graduated as the best APFT score. The program overall, each program by the brigade headquarters, our higher headquarters, has given us goals. We met, or we exceeded 6 of the 7 goals. Of the 7th goal, which was land navigation, nobody exceeded, but we took first place within the 44 schools that we're grouped into. Overall, out of our brigade headquarters of 44 schools, we're ranked number 3. So I'm very proud of our cadets for that. So what's the future like? What do I want from the program? I want the program to continue to produce the quality officers I showed you on the last slide. I also want to see the enrollment in the program increase from the 54 cadets we currently have to about 75 over the next 2 or 3 years without sacrificing quality. I also want to commission officers of character, officers who have solid moral base and will choose a harder right over the easier wrong. Lastly, I want to partner with other organizations to develop the Army and the nation's future leaders. There's a proverb that says it takes a village to raise a child. If that's true, then it probably takes a community to raise a leader, which is why I'm here tonight. So in closing, I want to share with you tonight a little bit about myself, a little bit about the program, and where I'd like to see the program go in the future. Thank you for providing me the opportunity to speak with you.